Hi, this is Chelsea and I am in Cannonball, North Dakota, and it is dark out here, but I have absolutely zero reception at the actual camp. So right now I am at the casino, which is nearby, which has Wi-Fi, and I am going to kind of just rattle off the information that I have at this point. If anybody has questions, feel free to put those questions in the comments. I'm just going to try and start with the information pieces that I think are most important, and if there's anything you want to know about, let me know. I just got to the camp yesterday. It is fantastically wonderful. It's huge. It's a lot colder than I thought it would be. Today was the first day that I actually got to really participate in the camp, and we went on a march. There was, I don't really know how many people, maybe 100, and we marched down about a mile or two to where they had bulldozed that sacred area, and we kind of just did like a prayer circle. It was very calm, incredibly calm, and when we were walking back, the police canine unit truck pulls up. They pulled up like next to the sacred area, but they didn't actually get out of the car. They just sat there for a couple of minutes. Yes, there is background music because I am sitting outside the casino because it's the only place that I have, reception. But so anyways, the canine unit comes, they sit there, they don't get out of the car. And we are now like walking in a procession back up this road, and they send in like the most high-tech drone I have ever seen in my life. It's got this camera in the middle, but these 4 like extensions that came out from each side. And I'm trying to take a picture. I have my camera with me, and I've been able to take pictures of everything. Not at any point is my camera screwed up. But as this drone is 15 feet from my face, my camera literally will not click the picture. Like, will not take the picture. I did not get a picture until it was already flying away. But they have officially started sending drones in over the crowd. And right after that, they actually brought in the tribal police. And I didn't see anybody get arrested at that point. I know that people did get arrested in an action that was off of the highway this morning, but I was actually not present for that. Though at today, at the lunch at Circle, they kind of do like news updates. And the elder said that now when the National Guard is coming out and the police are coming out, they're coming out in full riot gear. They're coming out with all of their weapons present, whereas before they were coming out in a more peaceful demonstration. But now they are actually coming out fully weaponized. So the mood of the police has most certainly changed, and of course they've started shutting down the roads to get into the camp. Yes, and the drones are armed now. Yes, and winter is coming, and I know a lot of people have asked me, like, are people planning to leave because Obama's stopping the pipeline? No, nobody is planning to leave. People are settling in for the winter and trying to find how we're going to combat the cold somehow. During the day, it is not so bad, but at night, it's freezing. Actually, tonight is way better than it was last night. And that's another thing is, for as far as supplies go, think about sending winter supplies. I know that they do have blankets. They do have a lot of extra jackets and clothing for people, but still, like hand warmers and firewood. Firewood would be a great thing to send, because they do have wood, but it's mostly being used for cooking, and it's being used sparingly for actual fire. So firewood is a great thing to send. Tent stakes, actual tents, milk of magnesia for the pepper spray, men's items like men's deodorant and men's soap, because a lot of people are sending women's items and not men's items. So those kind of things, kind of like outside of the box things, because a lot of people are sending the most obvious choices. Like, there's a ton of water. There's just hundreds of cases of water. So I don't think they need any more water. And from what I've been told, they would like people to stop sending water and start sending more unique items, I guess. But I would definitely think about sending winter items because it's going to be even colder, and it's already incredibly cold. So, yeah, but I was actually really surprised. They do have like a free store set up for anybody who needs winter gear. Oh, my connection is weak. Okay, so anybody who wants to come here, please come, because everybody is going to be staying through the winter, though we were just having some talks about possibly migrating to where new construction might be going on at this time rather than staying in the area where construction has ceased, though that is just word of mouth. I don't know if that will actually happen at this point. But other than that, everybody is staying. And if you are coming, here's just a little bit of information before you come. A, bring all your winter gear, and B, women, they are asking for you to wear skirts. They're asking for all women to wear skirts. So if you're a woman and you want to come, bring a lot of long skirts, even possibly some to share with other people, because I know personally I didn't bring any skirts, so I don't have the appropriate wear that I'm supposed to have at this time. So if you have extras, bring extras. But other than that, it's really just like a community at the camp. There's a lot of kids. There's a lot of puppies and horses and drawing, and a lot of kids like playing ball. There's a basketball court and a volleyball court. It's all incredibly peaceful, community style, and no violence here. There's no violence. It's almost like living in a commune, because it's the most peaceful thing you've ever seen. And everybody's incredibly helpful, and there's food everywhere, and just, there's no service though. There's no service for anyone, so I can't even take pictures and update. Oh, I see you talking about Amazon. I have been told that the Amazon list is not a good list for people to buy from, that those are actually lists from individual campers and not the actual camp itself. But if you go on their website, they do have a list of things that they are asking for. So you can go on their website and find the things that they are actually specifically asking for, and not the Amazon list. So I will be coming up to the casino probably every other day. It's about 10 miles out, and that's the only place you can actually get reception. And it would be fantastic if we were mainstream media and we could get one of those badass satellite trucks or something, because nobody here is able to go live at all for anything, because it's so dead spots. You can kind of talk on the phone, you can text, but you can't get on the internet. So I will try to catch up as much as possible. And if you guys have specific questions or specific things you would like to have investigated or things you would like to see, I am happy to help out with that. My trip was great. I'm actually here with a lot of Bernie delegates. We kind of set up our own personal camp of Bernie delegates. We've got delegates from North Dakota, South Dakota, New Hampshire, Hawaii, Oregon, and a couple of other states that I don't remember at this time. Some of the Coalition of 57 people. There's some Occupy Wall Street people out here. So I'm definitely seeing faces that I already know from previous background. And the trip was super great. It was just kind of hard once we actually got here and the roads were shut down. It was kind of hard to get in after that. And they had checkpoints on both roads, where I'm told that they usually only have checkpoints on the one main road. And it's the weirdest thing though, because they have the checkpoint 10 miles outside of Bismarck, which is still 30 miles outside of the camp, which kind of makes sense if you think if they put the check mark 5 miles outside of the camp and then they say, no, you can't get in, you're so much more likely to take another route around. But if you're only 10 miles from town and they tell you to turn around, you're just going to go back to town. So it's pretty incredibly smart, this little plan of theirs. But that is what they are doing now. And you have the Roundabout Way takes almost an extra hour. So they're just kind of making it more difficult for people to come in. And yes, please, somebody put out a call for a satellite phone. And also SD cards and like memory chips, flash drives, any way to store this information. Cell phone battery chargers are incredibly important. I cannot get safe pics of the drones because my camera literally stopped working when the drones were there. And this is the most high-tech drone I've ever seen. And it was maybe like 15, 20 feet off the ground. Like, it came right down on top of us and just hovered and circled for a good 5 minutes. So they were no way trying to hide the existence of this drone. But the moment you put your camera up to it, your camera does not work anymore. So only picture I actually got was like when it was already really far away, though I did hear about somebody who was videoing at the time that it came and possibly got a video of that. So, and I'm guessing that since this was kind of a new thing, that this is something that we'll see more often, and I will do my best to get pictures of it. This is actually the first drone I've ever seen up close, so it was incredibly confusing. At first I was kind of like, is this some kids? But it was definitely not. I asked one of the elders, like, does this drone belong to the camp? And they said, no, this is not ours. This is a government drone. So the police are stepping up their game. They are getting braver, I guess, or they're just getting more in your face. They're more militarized. They have more gear. There's more of them, and they are in more places. And the elders are pointing that out to everyone and just kind of hoping that everyone will stay safe, but also be aware of the fact that things are escalating on that end. And they are also, which I think is just so fantastically incredible, the elders of the tribe are asking everyone to boycott Wells Fargo, who invested $450 million into this. So they are calling for us to divest our money from these big banks who are profiting off of these pipelines and off of these actions. So they are going to release a press statement. They might have actually already done it. I haven't seen it yet, obviously, because I have no internet. But they're going to release a press release that says, please divest your money from these big banks. These are the brands we don't want you to shop for anymore, which is what I've been saying for a while. We've got to, hit the profit. So, and hitting the profit has worked because a lot of these companies lost a lot of money in the last few days after these decisions started coming out. I have it says, do you have or need actual cameras that are not cell phones? I do have a camera that is not a cell phone, and I was using my camera that was not a cell phone and literally could not click the shutter button, which did not cause me problems at all. If you want to send supplies to the camp, they do have an address on the website, so you can send stuff to the camp. If you want to send flash drives or memory cards for us to use personally, please just friend me and send me a message, and I will give you a local address that you can send those items to, because I know for me personally, that is what I need most right now, is more memory for my cameras. Yeah, so maybe just disposable cameras would be a fantastic thing to send. Yes, that is a great idea, guys. So disposable cameras, I think, is a fantastic idea. Film cameras, if anybody has film cameras, would probably have far less interference than the camera that I had at the time. But I was incredibly surprised that my camera wouldn't work, because it's not like my camera has internet. How did it just stop working all of a sudden? But it stopped working. You couldn't even press the button. So that is what's happening now. We are hoping that there will be another action tomorrow. From what we've heard, the actions are happening about 100 miles out at this point and not actually happening near the camp. So I'm going to try to keep in touch and attend as much as possible, and then I will do my best to come to the casino every day or two and report. So just send me your questions and I will try to answer them. And until next time, so I'm gonna go because it's late here and it's freezing outside, but I will be back on in a couple of days with more information. And if you want to send flash drives or memory cards or disposable cameras or battery chargers, send me a message and I will give you an address. So thank you guys, and have a good night. I will keep you up